Consuming ASP.NET Web API. So let's see how we can consume our created ASP.NET Web API in our ASP.NET MVC application. So here we have our already created ASP.NET Web API which we have tested using the Postman. So now the same Web API we are just going to consume in our MVC5 application. So just add here a new project. So here I'm adding a new project. And then specify your project name as I'm defining my project name, let's say a web app MVC5. Let's say define a web app MVC. This is my project name. Now here I'm just using the empty template for my MVC application. So it will create the ASP.NET MVC5 application for us. Now here what we have to do, whatever the web API address we have. So the same address we will use here for consuming our API. So just consume the same address here. So this is my web API. We have the properties, then web, then this is the project URL. So actually this is the web API address we are just using for running our web API. And now the same we have to use in our MVC controller. So first of all, just add a controller here. I'm adding a controller named as user controller. So this is my user controller I'm adding here, and you can see using a scaffolding it is generating the code for us. So first code we have to write here for showing the user list. So for showing the user list we have to consume our ASP.NET Web API. So just I'm using the Web API address here, let's say URI. So it will act as a Web API base address. So it will be here new URI. I'm passing the address for my API. This is the base address for the API. And in ASP.NET MVC we have HTTP client for consuming our web API. So first of all here we have to add a reference for system.net.http for accessing the HTTP client. So we have here system.net.http. We have added the reference. So now just create here HTTP client class object. So it will be here client. Add the namespace here system.net.http system.net.http. That's it. Now here just add the constructor here. In the constructor I will initialize this client class object. So client equal to new HTTP client. Now just define here the client base address as well. So as a base address I'm setting the web API base address. That's it. Now using this HTTP client class object I can call our API. So this HTTP client you can use with ASP.NET form as well, and with others type of application, let's say WPF and others type of application also we can use for consuming any REST API with the help of HTTP client. So as a response we will get here HTTP response message. So we will get the response from the server. Now just use a client, then make the get request here. In the get request we have to pass the API address here so that we can call the particular method. So just use a client.base address, and what the API we are just calling here, we are just calling here user API, because on the base address we might have more than one API. You might have the customer API, you might have the product API, you might have the authentication API, but right now we are accessing only one API named as user, and we are just fetching all the users information here. So here just verify like if response dot is success status code. If status code is success here, it means whatever the request our ASP.NET MVC application is making to our web API, it is succeeded. It's succeeded, so obviously it is returning the status code as 200, like either in the range of 200 here. So the HTTP client object will return the data as a JSON string. So just read that data. So I'm just using here, let's say response.content, then it will be here read as string async, then again call the method, again call the property as a result. So it will return the data as a JSON string. But we have to return the list of user so that we can show the list of user on our view page. But so far we don't have any class which can be used for creating the list of user. So what we can do here in the models folder, just add a class here. I'm adding a class for user view model, and in this user view model class we can define all the presentation logic, but this class will have the same properties as we have in the web API model class. So it will have the user ID, it will have the name, it will have the address, then it will have the contact number. And here we can define here our validation rules when we will define the view for adding the new user, for updating the user here. So right now we are just reading the value. So here just do one thing, just create the list of user here. Let's say list. I'm just going to use here user view model list. So user view model. So it will be here, let's say model list equal to new user view model list. Add the namespace. And what the data we are getting as a JSON string, that data we have to deserialize into the user view model list. So web API is internally using the Newtonsoft for serialization and the deserialization. The same Newtonsoft library we can use in ASP.NET MVC5 as well for serialization and the deserialization of our JSON data. So what we have to do here, we have to just install the Newtonsoft package using the NuGet here. So just browse. So make sure you are connected with the internet. So let's wait. So here Newtonsoft is the most popular NuGet package here. So I'm installing the Newtonsoft. So it is going to install in our application. So let's wait. So it has been installed successfully here. So just open here user controller now. And at the top level we can add the reference of the library. Let's say using Newtonsoft. And here just use here the class from the Newtonsoft. There is a class here, let's say JSON convert. So JSON convert is a part of Newtonsoft.json. So just add the reference for Newtonsoft.json. Now here just deserialize the object. So we are just going to deserialize into list of user here. So list, it will be here user view model. So make sure whatever the object you are passing, that object is having the same properties as we are getting in our JSON data. So the JSON data we are getting here user ID, name, address and the contact number. So same properties we have in the user view model as well. So just pass the JSON string data and just assign into the model list. So it will be here model list equal to deserialization, and finally return the model list from here. I'm just returning the model list. So in this way we are consuming our ASP.NET Web API by making the GET request here. And now so far we have not added any view for the user listing. So now just add a view here, and using the Visual Studio scaffolding option we can create the listing page. So we don't need to write any code for the view. So it is creating the user listing page here using the scaffolding. So let's wait. So it's created the user listing page with all the details here. Even it's created the action link for edit, details and delete. So I'm not using here details, I'm using here edit and delete. So just do one thing, if you want to create the method for edit here, so as a primary key we have user ID. So user ID we are just going to use as a primary key. I'm passing it. So far we have not written the code for edit and delete. So first of all, let's see how we are getting the list of user here. Then we will write the code for creation, updation and deletion as well. So far we have written the code like how we are consuming our web API and how we are displaying the data. So we can see the data when we are running both the project. So this time we have to run the web API as well as MVC project. So just do right click on the solution explorer, just go to the properties, and we have the option here multiple startup project. So from the multiple startup project, then select the start. So this way I'm selecting the start, then apply. So now when I will run the application, it will run both the project, web API project as well as web app MVC project. So until your web API will not run, we cannot consume in our web app MVC project. So here I'm putting a breakpoint so that we can understand like how it is going to be called here. And in MVC project, just do one thing, just set the startup page for our application. It should be here user and index. So now run the application, it will automatically run the user listing page as a home page for our MVC application. So that's great. So click on the start button. It will start our web API as well as MVC application. So you can see here it is coming to the user controller index method. So just to debug here, so it is trying to hit the web API. So as a status code we are getting here success, it is true here, perfect. And if you will see as a data I'm getting here JSON string. So we have a user in our database named as Shailen Johan. So that user I'm getting here is a JSON string. So this JSON string we are just going to deserialize into the model list. So we have the one count here. So this is the user we are getting here perfectly. Now it will return the list of user. Now just to continue, you will get the list of user on your index page. So you can see we are getting the user ID as 1, name as Shailendra, address as Noida, and contact number, whatever the contact number we have here. So it's working fine. It is showing the list of user here. Same way we can write the code for adding a new user, for updating the existing user, and for deleting as well. So first of all, let's write the code for adding a new user here. So let's define a one more action result. I'm using an action result, and the method name here, let's say create, then use here return view. For the return view, just add a view here, add a view, create template. I'm using here create model class will be here user view model. Click on the add button. So using scaffolding, it will generate the code for us here. So just do necessary changes here. So I'm just removing this here back to list. Okay, that's great. So now here let's see, we have created here the create page here. So when you will click on the create button, it will post the data on the server side. So just receive its data on the server side using the HTTP post. And here I'm just using here, let's say the user view model as a receiving object, this one. And now here I can again call the web API method here by using the client post async method. So this time what we have to do, we have to pass the data as a JSON string, because if you will see here, we are just getting the data as a JSON string here. Same way we have to pass the data as a JSON string. So just do one thing, just convert this user view model object into the JSON string. So it will be here, let's say data equal to JSON convert. I'm using here, let's say JSON convert, then serialize the object. I'm just going to serialize my model this way. Now we just create the string content. So string content is a HTTP content type. I'm using here, let's say content equal to new string content, then pass the content as a string. Then I'm using here encoding. So as a encoding, we are just going to use here, first of all, just add the namespace here, like system dot text namespace you have to add. And as encoding, I'm using here UTF-8, and the media type we are using here, let's say application / JSON, because we are passing the data as a JSON string. So this is the way to convert our JavaScript object into the JSON string. And here I'm just creating the string content so that we can pass it as an HTTP content. So just receive the data here, HTTP response message. It will be here response equal to, it will be, let's say client, and this time making the post request. Then pass the request URI. So I'm passing the request URI. It will be a client.base address, plus it will be here, let's say a user, and we are making the post request. So we have to just pass the HTTP content. So we are just using a string content because string content is a child class here for the HTTP content. Then the result. So this is the way for making the post request here. Now just verify whether we are getting the success status code or not. So it is here, if it is success status code, so it is fine here. So what we can do here, after adding the user in the database, we should redirect to the user listing page. So just return redirect to action, and here I'm just redirecting to the user listing page here. That's it. If there is any error here, it will return to the same page by showing the error. Perfect. So this is a way for adding a new user into a database, and through the web API we are trying to add it. Same way we can write the code for updating the existing user. So just create the copy for the create method here and just use here edit. In the edit I'm just receiving the ID as here, let's say ID as a root parameter, and based upon the ID just fetch the data from the database. So as we made here the get request in the index method, same way we have to make here get request for getting a single user here, but this time in place of list it will be here user view model. So just use here user view model. I'm using the model here, simple. So I'm just doing here some necessary changes. So this is the user object, and this time we have to pass the ID here, shell as plus ID. I'm passing the ID here. If a status code is fine here, it's okay, then we'll turn the list here, and the typecasting would be into the user view model, not the user view model list. Perfect. And from here we have to return the model. And guys, here it's up to you for the edit. Either you can use the existing create view page, either you can create the new one as well. So what I'm doing here, I'm just going to use the existing one create page. So I'm passing the view name as create, and for updation just use edit here this way. And here in case of edit we have to make here put request. So just make the put request in place of post and just pass the user ID as well. Plus I'm passing here, let's say model.user ID for the updation, and after the updation just redirect to the user listing page. If there is any error while the updation, so just return to the same view page. So it will be here create and just pass the model. So in case of create we are using the same create view, we are not creating the separate one. So what we have to do for the create page, we have to do some necessary changes, like the heading we have to change here. So for the heading just write here a ternary condition. I'm just using here if model not equal to null, so it means it is a added page, edit, else it is a for creation. So in place of putting the create as a hard code value, I'm just using it using the title. So instead of putting the create as a hard code value, just use here title, view background title, then horizontal line this way. Even the same thing we have to do here for the button as well. So in place of button value should be create, it should be here save, so that it will work for create as well as for updation as well. In both the case it will work now. So let's see how we are adding the new record and how we are updating the existing one. But for the updation on the index page, make sure we are passing here the action name. So this is the text name, actually first one is the text name, the second one is the action name here, and make sure you are passing the parameter as well. As a user ID I'm passing here with the Alform ID parameter. So let's see how it is working. So let's run the WebAPI project as well as our MVC application project. So first of all just try for adding a new user. So just click on the create new user. So it is expecting the user ID here, but user ID is a auto increment field. So in case of create we can skip this one. So just do one thing, just open the create.cshtml page, and in place of creating the text box here, what I can do, I recommend here you should use the hidden field, because in case of edit it is required, but in case of create it is not required. So just use it hidden for, and as a hidden for I'm using here, let's say model and model dot user ID. So for user ID I'm creating this hidden field. Now just reload the same page again. You can see now there is no user ID here. Just pass the name. I'm passing the name, let's say Mohan. Address I'm passing here, let's say Delhi. Contact number I'm passing here a contact number. Click on the save button. If everything is fine, it should add. So it's added a new user here named as Mohan in our database. Same we can verify in the database as well. In the database we have one more new user with the name Mohan. Now let's update it. So for the updation just click on the edit button. So it is showing the details here for the Mohan Delhi. So what I'm doing here, I'm just using here, let's say Mohan Kumar, and it is here, let's say New Delhi. Now click on the save button. So it's going to be updated all the things. So it means create, update and get operations all these threes are working fine.